What's up, dudes? Welcome to Dudes Ascend, where we will be covering a variety of topics about how to deconstruct toxic masculinity and embrace and step into the elevated, higher consciousness self, the divine dude within us. Now, today's hot topic of the day is how to know if you have a porn addiction. Now, chances are, if you've arrived at this video, you might already be suspecting that there might be some kind of issue going on. You might have a problem with this habit, which a lot of us do. Is watching porn is something that's become very normalized and almost kind of like expected of men, especially to do. But there's a growing number of people sort of coming to this realization that maybe this habit is not so good for us. And if you've arrived at this video, again, you might be thinking that yourself. So there's a really simple experiment to try to sort of identify whether or not this might be a problem for you, and that is to simply try to go without it for an extended period of time. I recommend about 21-day mark will be a good benchmark to shoot for, and just giving that amount of time will become very clear whether or not there is an addiction there or not. So if you are able to reach 21 days and with no problem, and you succeed in not watching porn or masturbating, then seems like there's no addiction there, right? Easy peasy. If you could put something down after you pick it up, as the Native Americans say, then you don't have an addiction, right? But if you find yourself a few days in and sorry, this my friend Hamilton, the French Bulldog. My name is Hamilton, and he is also Hamilton. He's deciding to make a cameo. But yeah, so if you find yourself a few days into this challenge and feeling some withdrawal symptoms, feeling like I need to watch, or you just like compulsively did it and you didn't even like think about it, or if you're like 10 days in and it's just feeling really difficult, there might be an addiction there might be a problem. And I want to be really clear here when I use this language, when I say you have a problem, I don't mean that there's something wrong with you. Like, a huge part of overcoming any addiction is deconstructing the shame around it. And I think that there's a lot of science coming out now, brain science, that shows how much of a drug internet pornography in particular really is, and the ways that it just creates this massive dump of dopamine in the brain, lighting up that reward center and the addictive pathways, just as if you like snorted a line of cocaine or like injected some heroin. I mean, it's the very almost identical brain chemistry things going on. So it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you if this problem has developed inside of your head. It just means that we've picked up along the way some kind of defective coping mechanism. I just read Mastin Kipp's book called Claim Your Power, which is an amazing 40-day process for just sort of like stepping into your best version of you, essentially. And what that process does is it reveals a lot of like underlying trauma that usually exists in like self-limiting patterns and belief systems. But he's very careful about using any kind of language like self-sabotage or stuff, because nobody sabotages themselves on purpose. Nobody like beats themselves up or like ruins their own success purposefully. Even if we have some kind of self-limiting behavior, it was picked up as like a survival mechanism. He calls them survival patterns. So for me, porn has always been a way of escaping reality, escaping some kind of feeling or emotion that I didn't want to feel, and kind of bottling it up. And whatever that might be for you, hey Ham, you know, it's important to like not feel shame about it, and to just it's important to not feel shame about it, and to also, like, you know, just to be loving of yourself enough to be able to say, okay, I developed this coping mechanism and it's effective now. You know, it might have served me at some point in time. It helped me get through some kind of like really hard traumatic event in my life and be okay. But now that, you know, it's years down the road, I'm realizing, okay, it's holding me back from achieving some of my higher goals. It's holding me back from having the kind of success that I really want in life. And maybe now it's time to let that go. And so again, if you've arrived at this video, you're probably already considering this as a step that you would like to take in your life. And if you're asking this question, how do I know if I have a porn addiction? You already have some kind of intuitive sense that there might be a problem. And it's not a problem with you, it's just some kind of bad habit that you picked up. And so what I'm gonna be doing on this channel is, you know, I've suggested this experiment to conduct for yourself. Try 21 days with no porn and see how it goes, right? If you're really struggling with that, there might be an addiction. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that journey with you guys, as a way of like holding myself accountable, and also just taking the journey and sort of like logging what that process is like. Because spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1, I know that I have a porn addiction. This was something that I was kind of cognizant of for years, and only in the past like 3 years, about 3 years ago, I really started getting serious about addressing the issue, and throwing all kinds of things at it, from going to 12-step meetings to seeking professional counseling and therapy, to just doing all kinds of independent research and reading studies about it. You know, I've got this really great program on my phone that's all about helping people in that recovery process. So there's tons of resources out there to get help. And along this 21-day journey, I'll be checking in and just sort of saying how I'm feeling along the way, and also each day trying to offer some helpful resources that I picked up along the way over years. And just know that like relapse is a part of recovery. If you don't make it to 21 days, it doesn't mean you suck as a person. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that, you know, it's progress, not perfection, right? Like, it's gonna be a long road, especially if this habit is something that has formed itself over years and years and years. It might take a few years to really totally get rid of, and that's okay. But the important thing is, if you do slip, just keep getting up and keep moving forward, because it takes time for the brain to heal itself. It takes time for the brain to rewire itself. And I'm gonna be taking the journey right along with you, and you know, hopefully we can do this together and sort of support each other and ascend to the next level of success as a group. So that's my goal for this channel, and I'm glad that my buddy Ham here has joined me today. Maybe you'll see more cameos from him. Yeah, with that, my name is Hamilton. Again, please hit the subscribe button to make sure that you get updates with me as we go along this journey. See more videos, more content, and check out my Instagram with my wife and I. We do private coaching together on Twin Soul Poets. You can find us twinsoulpoets.com and Twin Soul Poets on Instagram. All right, guys, I'll be seeing you more soon. Bye.